1000 is now in the books, and it was an outstanding episode. I'm very glad that I actually got to stay up and watch all of it. I get up at 2:30 in the morning typically, but I am off work for the next few days, so was able to stay up and watch all of Raw instead of finishing it on Tuesday afternoon. And, I took notes as I was watching, so I'm going to kind of refer to those as I do this video, kind of a reaction video to everything that we saw. And it was such a fantastic night. I would have loved to have been in the crowd in St. Louis. A lot of my friends were able to make it up. It's about a 2-hour trip from here. Unfortunately, was not able to work it out and make it up there for this, but I do plan to be at Raw 2000 for sure. It was a great show. I had goosebumps many times throughout the evening. The DX reunion was great. It was fun. It was a great reunion. Good to see some blasts from the past, and that was kind of the theme of the night. I think they did a good job mixing in some of the old guys, or some of the older guys, the legends, if you will, in with the newer talent. Storylines didn't totally suffer throughout the night, and things were advanced along the way as well. It was good to see Dude Love come out, and I wondered if we were going to see the other two faces of Foley, since Mick Foley was out so early as the Dude Love character. I didn't know if Mankind and Cactus Jack would make appearances. Obviously, they did not. It was good to see Slick come back and serve as the Reverend for AJ and Daniel Bryan's wedding. For a moment, I thought Brother Love might have been out there doing the nuptials, but of course, Bruce Pritchard is now working for TNA, so obviously that would not be happening. When AJ said that she had accepted another man's proposal, I think a lot of folks, at least the insider wrestling fans, were thinking that Dean Ambrose might be coming out, but no, it was Mr. McMahon offering her the gig as Raw General Manager. I'm still kind of digesting that right now. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. Ask me again in a couple of weeks after she's had some time on the job, and we're going to see where they're going to go with that. Now, I noticed he just said Raw General Manager, so I'm wondering what's going to happen with SmackDown. Will Teddy Long resume that role, or what's going to happen? We didn't see him tonight. The Rock coming out and challenging the champion, whomever that is, at the end of the wedding ceremony, whether it's John Cena, whether it's CM Punk, or the WWE seems to think the Big Show. That kind of got trending on Twitter as well. It's 6 months off. The crowd didn't really react to it the way I thought they would have. I expected a much louder pop when The Rock said that he would be wrestling at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship. I'm really hoping that it is going to be CM Punk and The Rock, and the way things ended the night, I'm kind of thinking that they may actually keep the belt on Punk for an extended period of time, which in my opinion would be great. And let's just jump right to that match. It ended with the Big Show coming out, beating up John Cena and ending in a disqualification. I think a lot of fans were disappointed by that finish. But The Rock coming out and saving Cena as Punk just kind of stood there and watched the beating signified to me that this may be the thing that changes the course of the WWE, as we've had those events the last couple of summers that have done that. The Nexus formation and the Summer of Punk last year, Vince McMahon being fired as the CEO, if you will. So I'm curious to see where this is going to head and what direction we're going to go. I'm hoping, as I said, that we go to see Rock versus Punk coming up at the Royal Rumble, but we'll talk more about that as it gets closer. Bret Hart being the guest ring announcer was a nice touch to the night. It was good to see the Intercontinental title defended in a very highly competitive match. I love Christian. I love The Miz. I could have seen that one go either way and not been disappointed. I am happy to see The Miz once again holding some gold and hopefully climbing back up the ladder in the WWE. And Christian, of course, a great talent, and certainly brought some prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship, I think, as well. Stephanie McMahon coming out during the Paul Heyman Triple H segment was not totally unshocking or unsurprising. I'm curious to see where this one ends up going to. Of course, Brock Lesnar accepting Triple H's challenge now for SummerSlam. So that is signed, sealed, and delivered. I do like Paul Heyman a lot on the mic, and would like to see him in a bigger role in the WWE, and I certainly hope that that comes his way. Speaking of returns, Lita looking fantastic. No surprise there. I think a lot of folks expected Stone Cold Steve Austin to be the one to accept the Heath Slater challenge. but that was not to be, and the APA was a great touch to that, to the no disqualification. Love the APA. That was my favorite version of Bradshaw, if you will, when he was with the APA teaming up with Ron Simmons, or back then it was Farouk. So, and then everybody coming out from the last month or so, or 2 months of Raws where they had beaten up on Heath Slater. That was great. You know, I'm a mark for the old school and the veterans or the legends coming back and getting a few minutes in the spotlight too. So that was great to see. Sean Mooney may have been probably the biggest surprise of the night. It was great to see him. I wish that role of interviewing Daniel Bryan would have lasted a little longer. I also think that, and I wish that Bobby the Brain Heenan was in better health, for obviously many reasons, but it would have been great to see him on the show and kind of redo the whole trying to get in with Sean Mooney, or even Mean Gene Okerlund, who was there as well. It was great seeing him. You know, showing the old catchphrases that they did as well was a nice touch to the night. The six-man tag team match, I don't want to forget about that. You know, it was a very entertaining match. My kids were watching with me. They got a kick out of it. They like Sin Cara, and they like Rey Mysterio, and they like Sheamus. So seeing those three guys together was great. Of course, I like Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho. So I'm curious to see where they're heading with those two, because obviously something is brewing there. The Undertaker coming back. You know, I knew he'd come back tonight, or I sensed that he would come back. It was good to see him. And interesting to see him come back with Kane, as they beat the heck out of about 6 or 7 jobbers, I guess, for lack of a better term. Sorry, Tyler and Kurt Hawkins and the rest of the crew there. I'm kind of slipped in my mind of who all was there. Charlie Sheen with this challenge. My goodness, I hope this does not lead to a Charlie Sheen-Daniel Bryan match at SummerSlam. Charlie Sheen's role throughout the evening, I thought it was going to be different than what it was. I'm glad that it was kept to a minimum. You know, I guess I can accept the fact that the WWE wants to bring in that entertainment factor, although I've never really been a huge Charlie Sheen fan anyway, so you know, I guess that was what it was. I think that's about it. It was a great show overall. I give it 2 big thumbs up. You know, probably highlights being the CM Punk kind of, I don't know if you want to call it a heel turn or not, on The Rock, and John Cena kind of turning his back on both those guys. You know, Sean Mooney, seeing him back, that was a pop. The Hand, Mae Young's son, all grown up. Who doesn't love that stuff? I mean, that stuff was going crazy on Twitter tonight. So I want to know what you thought of the show. If you were there, awesome. Send your pictures, send your comments. Let us know here at My 123 Cents what you thought. Thanks for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.